Hi, I'm Dan from Literary Gladiators, and today we're going to be going over iRobot. iRobot was written by Isaac Asimov. He was a Russian author. And this is one of his science fiction books. Many people probably know the movie. I can tell you the book and the movie are completely different. Alright? The book is actually a collection of short stories of his that are based around robots and the way society has grown and has lived with the robots. It basically creates a futuristic-looking world of what life would be like with robots. The book itself, a present-day story that connects all the other short stories, is set in the year 2057. The rest of the stories take place in 1998, 2007, 2015, and yeah, believe it or not, they're nothing like the actual years that have passed. The main story that connects all of them, which is kind of used as a framing device, is the introduction, where we see from a narrator's point of view being told a story from a professor who goes by the name of Dr. Susan Calvin. Basically, she knows all about robotics and stuff like that and how they work in this world. The narrator's name is never given, or at least I don't remember a name being given for who we're reading as. We are told the things that they're a man because she refers to him as young man and refers to him with male pronouns, so assuming that we're seeing from the point of view of a guy doing an interview with a scientist. All the stories are told in third person, and the thing is, we learn how the world works with robotics. There is a central theme to all of them, and the thing is, that's the 3 laws of robotics that Isaac Asimov has made. In case you're curious what the 3 laws are, the first law is a robot may not harm a human being or, through inactivity, allow a human being to come to harm. Rule number 2. They must obey all orders given to them by a human being unless it conflicts with the first law. And finally, rule number 3 is a robot must protect its own self-being unless it comes in conflict with the first and second law. These 3 laws govern the robots and how they do with their actions. And we see this throughout the book. It's either explained or it's shown in some way that tends to be pretty unique and somewhat complex in the story that it's trying to tell. We do see what happens if a robot tries to disobey any of these laws and the outcome that happens to them. Basically, if a robot tries to violate any of the laws, it gets its thought pattern stuck in a paradox that keeps repeating over and over again until it permanently shuts down itself. Meaning the thing is, they permanently shut down and no longer operate. One of the cool things about this book is that we see different versions of robots. We see the early onset versions of them where they look humanoid but are not, and they can't really speak. Then we see like the first ever speaking robots. We see the things that there are more advanced robots for certain tasks and more simplified robots for other tasks. And we see ones that are used for space travel, ones that are used for home care, and stuff like that. We also learn a few other things that society doesn't really accept robots too much. Alright, it's mentioned in the book that in 2007 robots were made illegal on Earth, and unless they are being used for scientific research. And other ones have been sent off-world. One of the main stories, the second short story of the book called Runabout. We see many of the robots being used for other purposes, such as doing work on other planets. For example, there's a few stories that take place on Mercury, alright, such as Runaround, where the thing is we see simplistic robots do work to try and collect minerals from another planet, since they can't be used on Earth. And some of the complex themes that Isaac Asimov wrote in this book is that many people mentioned in the movie there's always robot uprising. Here, the robots are not bad guys. There is no uprising. But it still has, like, complex, intense drama moments that are really unique if you really think about the whole story as a whole. As one example I could probably give is a couple scientists go to a planet and they have a robot there to collect a mineral for them to power their space station. However, the robot doesn't come back for a few days. Eventually, they decide to go and figure out what's going on with the robot and begin to find it. They find the robot and find out that it's not functioning because it's coming in conflict with two of the laws it has to follow, the second and third law. Since the planet is too hot for any human being to actually survive for over, I think they mentioned 2 minutes to be on the surface, they send robots out to do the work. When they are there, they find out the robot is beginning to overheat, thus trying to protect its own self-being, while also trying to obey the rules given to them, thus causing it to come in conflict. They realize the thing is, there's only one way for it to fix it, and that's to put themselves in harm's way, which causes the first law, which supersedes all the others, to go into effect, thus causing the robot to snap out of the paradox that's stuck in. And the thing is, honestly, there's a bunch of other examples I could give, but I don't want to spoil the whole story. If you like science fiction and you like robots, definitely check out this book. It's a really great read, and it has a lot of great short stories. There's even an ending that is very interesting to me that, I'm not going to spoil here, but it's a very complex ending. It makes you wonder, is it really okay, or should we just let things continue on as they are? It is the first in a long series of books. iRobot was just the first. There is the iRobot series, which contains many other books in it. The series is basically iRobot, The Case of Steel, Naked Sun, and The Robots of Dawn. There's also a few others as well, but the thing is, this one was the first, and it's actually a great collection of his work. So that's it for here with me. Until next time, keep reading.